So really digging into the SEC, the DOJ, the Treasury today. And again, the mafia, as you said, Ewok, that went off after Binance today and CZ. Obviously, we've known about these stories building up. They announced at 10 a.m. today that they were going to take major action against a crypto entity later this afternoon. And the news leaked out before 3 p.m. that it was going to be Binance, who, this might be the more surprising result, is I don't know if people thought that they were going to settle, number one, and settle for the $4.3 billion, and CZ resigns amid money laundering allegations. I put in my notes here, and we can talk about this too, about this. I think this is literally what it is. Dog and pony show for elites to get in before an ETF approval. They just knocked out one of their biggest competitors that was going to be in the U.S. in Binance. So, yeah, I think there's an opportunity for all of them to buy the dip and get their Bitcoin ETF that every fucker on crypto Twitter is celebrating for whatever reason. Every Bitcoin person is really happy about this ETF. And more TradFi people just entering the ecosystem with a bastardized index fund. But yeah, what do you make of this, Ewok? Collusion to bring down. I have nothing against CZ. I know people, on many sides of the aisle have been for or against him over the years. But, he's been an innovator. He's made the biggest exchange in the world. And I think it sucks to see him go. But say la vie.
Yeah. Well, my feelings aren't hurt, but the one thing that, that I think that you still have to keep in mind is Operation Choke Point is still in effect. I think they're trying to narrow it down to where the only people that exist anymore are the ones that will really, truly cooperate and do whatever the government says. And maybe he wasn't willing to play ball. He wasn't, obviously, because, he had his what was it? The AML, the anti-money laundering accusations that were in there, and he got hit with the Privacy Act by keeping his people's information private. Kind of, a little conundrum there, But I think that they're trying to choke out as many players that aren't willing to play ball with the government. So that they can, get as much control of this ecosystem as they possibly can.
Yeah, I'm with you. Sorry, I was just replying to somebody. Funny, I was watching you on the YouTube live stream, not on StreamYard, so I didn't know you're done talking there.
Oh.
Yeah, so it does really suck. It's something that I noticed today. So it was a yawn fest, so I had to turn it off eventually. But I was listening to the DOJ and Miss Yellen, who was ravishing, I thought, today on the stage. But the woman from the DOJ, and I forget her name, but she was talking about Binance, and she said, this is a shot across the bow or a stark warning for DeFi companies was the actual terminology that she used.
Right.
So once again, you can tell these people don't even really understand what they're talking about. They don't know what DeFi even is. And just the fact to literally say DeFi company, it's an oxymoron. They don't even understand what they're talking about.
No, they don't.
But I do think the message is clear, though, is maybe 1 year, whenever they figure out what DeFi is, they are coming after that as well. And I don't know. Obviously, we know that. We just talked about it. But what does that actually look like? What can they do to actually shut that down? They can't, because if that's the thing, if there's something that's real DeFi, and there was a great comment earlier, Jay Benny said it, and then somebody else, I think it was Wall to Wall TV. Yeah. Real DeFi down 99%, fake DeFi dumped less. So and that's one of the things we're going to talk about. There was a fantastic stream the other day. This Frank Molina cat is just all over the place in the Hex and Pulse Chain ecosystem, but he was on the other day with Crypto Coffee. And he made a great point about how, and this kind of goes for most of crypto, but you're going to see dips like this to this level because this isn't legacy finance. There is nobody coming to bail you out, nobody coming to save you, nobody in cahoots and saving each other, unless you're like FTX and Alameda or something like that. But that wasn't real crypto again. So when you look at real DeFi, we say this all the time, but volatility is the price you pay for the gains we can get here. So What do you make of their like lack of understanding though of what DeFi even is and how they can really even go about coming after that? Because it seems to be that what they're saying here after this conference about Binance that may be what they're trying to do.
Well, I think they're going in the order of most users at a time, and once they do get to actual DeFi, they're going to be lost. I
Yeah.
really think they're not going to know which way to turn. Hopefully, and the people that are doing it the right way, they're going to be like, okay, now what kind of situation.
Hmm.
I don't know that there's a whole lot that can be done. What people need to be building now are ways to well, I don't know that you can really build it, but I mean, we need to transact in the tokens that we want to use amongst each other, and it's going to be a difficult thing because people don't want to spend their crypto. That's kind of the problem. Um, and once things are shut down, like all your on ramps and off ramps, which I saw somebody bring up OX Coast. I
Yeah.
like those guys, and I think it's going to be a great addition. They've been adding things left and right to Pulse Chain, to the onboarding process for Pulse Chain. They're working hard and they're working on solutions. I've seen a couple. It hasn't been 100% flawless. I will admit that they've had a couple hiccups, but your bank is involved. They can still shut your account down. So I think it was one of the things that the money that was trying to get transferred in got held by the bank, and it wasn't by Coast. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, I got sidetracked. I think they're going to work pecking order. You know what I mean? What they consider most important, all the way down to the DeFi products. Which, like I said, once they get there, I think they're going to hit many roadblocks, um, especially
Mm.
with the ones that are true DeFi. So, I think they've
Yeah.
got their work cut out for them, and yeah, I think the longer that we can drag this out, and again, it goes back to the precedent on some of the cases. Let's let them play out. Maybe by then they'll give up.
Yeah. Well, yes. And again, also changes in leadership with Gary Gensler maybe being out of there by the
Yeah,
time Trump takes office in 2025, or whatever it may be. So yeah, or Vivek, viewers, whatever, whoever it may be, or Joe Biden. Let's be all equal opportunity offenders here. So yeah, so that kind of sums up the Binance one. I mean, we're not going to spend too much time on it because we know everybody else in all of crypto is going to be spending time on it for weeks ahead, maybe 2 weeks. Then we'll totally forget about this. But yeah, it sucks to see ZZ go, but I think he'll be all right. He's still I think he's got $13 billion still to his name.
yeah.
So
He's still got coin market cap to mess with too. Keeping
true.
us. I did look today when Rags to Riches was doing a stream, and he brought it up and how we were locked at 201. So I checked it out. We're actually at
Yeah.
209.
So we
So
fell further.
yeah, we
My
fell
God.
further.
Wow. Unbelievable. Can't
Unbelievable.
catch a break here. Can't catch a
Nope.
break.